At ease disease, it's time to talk about the G.I. Joe classified Mad Marauders, Sergeant Slaughter! First of all, a very big thank you for everyone who has, of course, supported the channel and liked the things. It really helps the algorithms and everything else. We've actually grown by 20 subscribers actually in the last couple of weeks. I am shooting to try to get 800 subscribers for this channel by September 1st. So remember, like, subscribe, share where you can, and we can get there too. So big piece right here today. Of course, we are going here with, of course, Sergeant Slaughter from G.I. Joe. If everybody remembers the history of Sergeant Slaughter, very well known wrestler back in the 80s, ended up becoming a G.I. Joe character back in the 85-86 series, was a big part of the G.I. Joe 1987 movie. The actor, of course, still playing Sergeant Slaughter at Comic-Cons and everything else too. And of course, there has been a huge piece here for old Sergeant Slaughter. In fact, they just announced here we have the Sergeant Slaughter and the Triple T tank, which will be coming out this fall. They're just getting ready here for pre-orders here, so you can go ahead and check those links for that here right now searching. They will not be attached to this channel, unfortunately, because they are not live at the moment. But I've always been a fan of the character. He was definitely one of the G.I. Joes I wanted to get in, and as many know, I really love the Mad Marauders line, despite the printing and everything else. But we really want to get into it. So we're going to go ahead and get into our review now of Sergeant Slaughter. So, big, huge little piece here on Sergeant Slaughter. This has the classic Sergeant Slaughter. Of course, as I said, there's about, I think about 6 different versions of the Sarge right now, too, including the new Renegades that recently came out with him, Taurus, Red Dog, and, of course, Mercer right now and everything. So this does have that repaint feel outside the actual little parts of it. And, of course, if I switch over here, you can get a really good sample of how those work here. So we've got the classic Sergeant Slaughter here, Marauder. This is actual figure 129 here from G.I. Joe for the Mad Marauder section. If you know the current ones that are available right now, of course, besides the Sarge himself, of course, Barbecue, which was in the non-plastic edition, which I've reviewed on this channel. You can go ahead and check that on my video links here. I'll have that in the description notes as well too, but also, of course, Lowlight and, of course, Spirit, which I will be reviewing in a future episode. And, of course, it was just recently announced, of course, Footloose, Mutt, and Junkyard will be coming out here. I've already pre-ordered mine because I really do want the completion of the Marauders set, and they kind of complete that Marauder set. Mutt and Junkyard, of course, are repaints. Footloose is pretty new compared to everything else here for the sculpts. And like I said, when the figure comes out in October, I will review that as well too. But I really got to say right now, I'm very happy with how this is done here. I mean, if you turn over here, we got the classic piece of Sarge there. Got his cane, he's got his whistle and his things, with the classic sunglasses on and everything else. I mean, it works very well. But one thing part on here, of course, the most right here with the Sarge here. But yeah, I really like this pieces here. They have a really nice, I do have the flag on the right side here too, so they did put that emblem on the original late 80s figure repaint when they were redoing, because most people knew Sergeant Slaughter with the course, the camel pants, the black shirt, his traditional hat, which of course is in here too, and of course the USA on that. Eventually in the show they just made it plain black, and then of course later on with the repaints here they had that. Everything else we kind of saw the emblem on the old Deke series when they were doing season 3, but it is really right here. And I mean, it's got his, of course, his satchel bag, which I think is extremely important. I mean, he's a drill sergeant. He's known for moving everything else. I also like the fact, this was a really cool little feature here, was the fact that they ended up doing so much right here with the original G.I. Joe toy area here too, with the USA and everything with the figure. It does say Mad Marauders, which was not the original title card. Keep in mind, when the figure first came out in the mid-80s, I remember I was there. But I really like that it has that nice little piece to that too. You get a lot of materials here too. Like I said, we get the 90-pound weight because Sergeant Slaughter was incredibly strong. I mean, in his the second episode of Arise, Serpentor Rise, when they were all trying to escape the Dreadnoughts and the Thunder Machine, and yes, the Thunder Machine's coming out, he was actually able to punch a hole into the wall of the cabin they wore. Of course, despite it was cartoon logic, looking back now, it was probably a really run-down thing. So if somebody like Sergeant Slaughter was strong enough to really fight people that were riddling his strength class and everything, it's not too far-fetched. There's even YouTube videos, real ones, not made-up ones like on Jackass or AI, where a person is able to, who is a weightlifter, is able actually to punch a wall in a brick wall because it's been deteriorated, things are pieces. That is a real thing. I remember, this is entertainment purpose only. Please do not do that. I'm not going to do that, but I'm just saying it is more realistic than we thought as a kid watching this cartoon going, oh, that's so funny. We couldn't really do that in real life, but hey, go Sergeant Slaughter kind of thing, fight, G.I. Joe. But it really has here. I mean, like I said, it comes all in with his pieces, the minifigure. I do like the fact we have both the glove and the regular hands to switch out with the Sergeant here, so it works really, really well with the part here. But yeah, we got all these parts in with the figure here. I really do love the cover art the most here on the figure. I mean, this just reads Sergeant Slaughter. I mean, I just love the artwork on it, the detail on that. I mean, this is fantastic. Figure 129, but it just kind of links really nice. I just love the current action figures. People know I'm NECA fans with the last Ronin. I love to line up the art styles on both the front and back covers for them to make them one unit pieces here. It just is really, really well done. I really like this. I mean, this figure is absolutely incredible. I mean, like I said, there are several Sergeant Slaughter figures out there. I have talked about possibly getting the Renegade set, which would be him in more of his desert gear at the slaughterhouse kind of outfit with Red Dog, Mercer, and Taurus. Might boo those in the future. I'll see. I'm always looking for deals on those things. I just can't throw out the cash all the time with them. This is, like I said, this is an expensive hobby, but a budget-friendly hobby. And for me here, it's a kind of a little bit piece on that, kind of a combination of the two. But I am really, really happy with this. I mean, I went out to Graham Crackers Comics, saw this, had a discount, threw the cash down, and the Sarge came home and began the beginning of my Mad Marauders, even though that kind of started with barbecue. But many people do know this was kind of the centerpiece of that figure line that I'm really happy with. I can't say enough for this. I just love the simplicity of it. The fact that it's both the classic heroes of the bygone era of the wrestling areas. I hope he doesn't comment on this video and says, what do you mean by a bygone era there, Reed? But it just is fantastic. I just missed out on meeting him in Chicago not too long ago. I had this ready to go, and unfortunately I just didn't get tickets. I would have loved for him to sign this. I'm hoping I do one of these days. But this is really good. I really love this action figure. I mean, this is a full 10 out of 10 for me. I mean, throw away the repaints, the remolds, let's face it, it just happens when you just start mass producing different versions of it. I mean, I'm still waiting on Polar Gear Stalker. There's Desert Gear Stalker, which is going to be showing up in the current G.I. Joe comics and everything else. I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll see those in 2027, 2028. Will probably be a repaint with the various things for Stalker, and Stalker is one of my top 10 G.I. Joe characters. So, it's not like I won't get them, but there are specific things as a collector. Like I said, the Triple T tank looks absolutely amazing. I am on the verge if I'm going to get it or not, but like I said, it's throwing out the cash for that, just like with Destro and the Despoiler. It's a fantastic figure. If something happens, I'd love to add it to the G.I. Joe collection, but really, I'm very modest with G.I. Joe Classifieds and G.I. Joe collections in general, as both a fan of the series for many years, as well as the Larry Hama comic series, which I still have original copies. Yes, I have G.I. Joe 1. I really do have G.I. Joe 1 by Marvel Comics. I can't say enough for this. I mean, this is a full 10 out of 10 figure. I love it. It's absolutely incredible. And I can't wait to hopefully bring the Mad Marauders collection set to a conclusion here in, believe it or not, just about a little over 2 months now. This is recorded on August 1st and should be dropping immediately after. So, we're almost here. So I will eventually review all the rest of the Marauders here. I've done Barbecue. I have now done the Sarge here. I will be doing Lowlight and Spirit here soon. And of course, Footloose, Mutt, Junk once we get there. So I want to thank everybody for joining me today on Reed's collections and everything. Please think about like and subscribe. We are shooting for that 800 subscribers by the beginning of September 1st, honestly, as we continue to grow and run the channels. Also, check me back for my regular comic book reviews. I will also be reviewing the new Spider-Man Brand New Day movie review coming up here probably the next day or two. I try to space these videos out, especially with school starting here too, having time to do that all. But thank you again for joining me today for Reed's collections. And as the Sarge would say, bye.